So you might be wondering how to recover from a hoarse voice fast so that you can get back to your normal voice and back to singing as quickly as possible. Well, in this episode, I've got you covered with a few simple things that you can do right now to help your voice recover so that you can start singing comfortably again without making the hoarseness worse and risking vocal damage. So let's dive in. Hi, my name is Maggie. I'm the founder of the Singing Insiders, in which I help passionate singers, just like yourself, develop themselves through singing. And in these episodes, you're going to get practical tools, exercises, tips, vocal techniques to help you develop your singing and up-level your singing to a higher level. So let's take a look at what it actually takes to recover from a hoarse voice quickly and, most importantly, safely. Now, in order to go through this and to really get this, you need to understand some common mistakes that many beginner singers tend to make. Number one is that many singers, they continue to sing through the hoarseness and they continue to push their voice. If that's you right now, let's stop. You're in the right place. We'll see what you can do instead. Mistake number two that most singers tend to make is clearing their voice by coughing or clearing their throat repeatedly. That is something to be aware of. That's something to be mindful of, because that is each time your vocal cords banging together and causing irritation. We don't want to have that. A third mistake that many singers make that are feeling that hoarseness is to jump back into singing straight away instead of letting the voice rest as much as possible. Or then we have the opposite side of that, and that's where singers have complete vocal rest and they're trying to not speak or sing for days on end. Now, that's not a good thing either. You can compare it to having your leg in a cast. If you break your leg and you have to have your leg in a cast and you don't use your leg for weeks on end, when then the cast comes off, the muscle of your leg has become weaker. So you got two different leg muscles. The right leg feels amazing and then the left leg feels pretty weak. Same thing with your voice. If you're not using your voice, then the muscles will start to weaken. We don't want to have that. So if you're someone that recognizes yourself in those mistakes, let's look at what you can actually do instead. Number one, instead of just going silent, let's reduce the vocal workload, not take it away completely. And I'll show you exactly how you can do that in a safe way. Number two, make sure that you're never pushing your voice. We don't want to push our voices. We don't want to strain our voices. Those are actually signs that you're doing something wrong with your voice. So we want to be mindful of that. So here's what you can do right now to treat your hoarse voice. And we're going to look at two main areas of focus. Number one, vocal hygiene measures. So everything that you can do to take care physically of your voice. And then number two is vocal techniques. What vocal techniques can help you to lessen the swelling of the voice? Because what is a hoarse voice? A hoarse voice is a voice that is swollen up. And maybe it's swollen because of a virus, maybe you have a cold, maybe you have the flu, or maybe it's swollen because you've used it in the wrong way and it got irritated and then it swells. So we want to decrease the swelling, which will take the hoarseness away. Now, very important, we want to know what the root cause of your hoarseness is. That is step one. We need to figure out why you're hoarse. And then we should take that cause away instead of treating the symptom. Is it the yelling? Is it a virus? Is it a cold, a flu? Whatever it might be, we want to identify what the root cause is and take that away. Everything that I'm going to share with you in this episode are things that you can do that once you're hoarse, you can do those things to help you. But first, we want to know what caused the hoarseness in the first place. And let's work on that too. Okay? So here's what you can do if you need to sing and if you have a hoarse voice at the same time. Well, sorry that I keep stalling, but before I go there, if you don't need to sing, please just take care of your voice, recover, rest, and then once your hoarseness is gone, let's keep going. But if you're in a place where you're hoarse and you have singing commitments, this is what you can do. Number 1, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. And with hydration, I don't just mean drink water. Yes, drinking water is essential. When you're drinking water, you're hydrating the vocal cords from the inside out. So the water has to go through your whole body before it can start to hydrate the vocal cords from the inside out. I recommend you drink at least 1.5 liters water a day. 2 liters would be ideal. So that's the basics. Then on top of that, you can add in steaming and nebulizing. Steaming, what you do is basically put a steaming water in a cup, and then with a towel over your head, you just breathe it in. When you're in the shower and you're putting your shower super hot, you just breathe in the steam. What that will do is have all those little water droplets coming straight onto your vocal cords. So then you're hydrating your voice from the outside in, okay? Nebulizing is similar but different. Nebulizing is with cold steam, and then you have to use a nebulizer. I recommend the vocal mist. I will link to it in the description here down below. The vocal mist is a little tool that you can use, and then you put it in your mouth and it nebulizes your voice. And what happens there is that it uses a special solution, saline. Saline is the natural water that is in your body. So when people are doing surgeries and they're like, I'm looking at Grey's Anatomy at TV. So when they say irrigate the field, then they're using a saline solution to irrigate the field. Same thing with your voice. We want to make sure it's the natural solution that goes onto our vocal cords, which is that saline. So steaming, nebulizing, and drinking water are super important to reduce that swelling of your voice. That's one thing you can do right away. Number 2, let's talk about vocal rest. Vocal rest does not necessarily mean to stay silent. That doesn't help your voice at all. I actually had a vocal surgery and I had to stay silent for, I think, just 3 days. And then I had to use my voice. And even during those 3 days, I still had to do some vocal exercises. We talked about this at the beginning of this episode. Vocal rest does not necessarily mean staying silent because you're losing your muscle power when you're not using your voice. So instead, we want to use SOVT sound. SOVT stands for semi-occluded vocal tract, which is basically anything that includes back pressure. So when I'm singing through a straw, there is air going out because I'm singing. But because I'm blowing through a straw, there's also a piece of that air that comes back in. So we have those 2 air streams that meet, and my voice is right between there, which gives my voice a nice vocal massage, which helps reduce the swelling. I love blowing through a straw to help you with that. I love the Lax Fox tube as well to help you with that. Anything that includes back pressure. SOVT sound. If you don't have a Lax Fox tube or a straw, you can do lip trills. Any of those can help to reduce the swelling. So when you are doing your vocal rest and you're not speaking or singing, you can alternate that with some moments of like, don't go into the extreme parts of your voice, but just use any type of SOVT sound to make those vocal cords vibrate in a healthy way, which will help reduce the swelling. Now, if this was really helpful for you so far, we only had 2 right now, the hydration and SOVT. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button here down below so that you're being updated when new episodes just like this one come out. But let's move forward. Let's do a few exercises that you can do that will help decrease the swelling of your vocal cords, which is the vocal technique side. So if you do have a straw handy, here's what you can do with that straw. We're going to do a simple exercise on a straw. You might notice that we're using a small interval. because when our vocal cords are swollen, we don't want to go into the extreme parts of our voice. We want to make it very, very small and stay within the comfort zone. So let's try and do that together. If you're hoarse now, this is your time to take out your straw or a drr or a v or a Laxvox tube, whatever you have, to activate that SOVT sound. Let's do that together. And keep going. Last one. Beautiful. Okay. Next, what you can do if you're feeling hoarse and you want to decrease the swelling of your vocal cords is play with vocal fry. Vocal fry is this sound. Let's try and do that together. And then go from that vocal fry to a full note. Vocal fry is this relaxed, like vibration of the vocal cords. So now let's go from the fry to a note. So we're doing beautiful. Keep going. Last one. Beautiful. So vocal fry can also help to reduce that swelling. Number 3 is using an SOVT sound. A V. Let me start here. Again, the V will help you reduce the swelling. What we're gonna do now, because we've done a few exercises before, is open up the range just a little bit. So we're gonna do. Let's try and do that together. And keep going. Beautiful. Keep it relaxed. If you want to switch to head voice, you can. We're not pushing anything. Beautiful. Amazing. Last one. Beautiful, beautiful. Last exercise is similar, but we're going to open it up on the top note. So we're going to do. So we're starting with the SOVT to come from relaxed voice use, and then we're opening up the sound so that we're not pushing our voices when hitting that higher note. Let's try and do that together. And keep going. Beautiful. Keep it relaxed. Yes. hopefully you've noticed a difference in your voice. And my suggestion, if you're still feeling a lot of hoarseness now after these exercises, go back to the hydration that I talked about, the nebulization, the steaming, the drinking of water, to really help you lessen that swelling in the voice. Now, as I said at the beginning of this episode, having a hoarse voice has a cause. Like, there's a reason why you were hoarse in the first place. And oftentimes for many singers, it's a sign, or it can be a sign of a lack in vocal technique. Maybe you notice that you pushed your voice up too high. Maybe you strained your voice, or maybe you were shouting when you were singing instead of creating balance. So one of the vocal techniques that help counter all of that is mastering your mixed voice. Oftentimes as singers, we want to be able to sing high notes with lots of power, and then what we tend to do as singers is just push and strain our voices to get there. So instead, we want to activate the mixed voice, which will still help you to sing high notes with lots of power, but without straining or damaging your voice. How you do that is exactly what I'll cover in the next video. I will link to it in the description here down below. My invitation to you, when your voice feels good, would be to go through that video so that you have at least the technical foundation to sing those high notes in a very healthy way. So that's my invitation to you. I'll see you there, and thank you for being here. We'll talk soon. Bye. Take care of your voice.